friends, welcome back to our channel. How are you? In this episode, we are going to know the history of Hyderabad. Hyderabad, the capital of the Indian state Telangana. It is a historic city noted for its many monuments, temples, and mosques. A multitude of influences has shaped the character of this city in the last 400 years. The brown color shaded portion in this map shows the region which was ruled by the Mauryan Empire, and the area around Hyderabad was also ruled by the Mauryan Empire. This was in the 3rd century BC during the reign of Ashoka the Great. But how is Ashoka related to the Mauryan dynasty? Mauryan dynasty. The founder and the first emperor of the Mauryan dynasty was Chandragupta Maurya. This is Chandragupta Maurya. After Chandragupta Maurya, Bindusara. Bindusara was the son of Chandragupta Maurya and the second emperor of the Mauryan dynasty. After Bindusara, Bindusara's son and the third emperor of the Mauryan dynasty was Ashoka. In this way, you can answer to the question that how is Ashoka related to the Mauryan dynasty? And the answer is Ashoka's grandfather, that is Chandragupta Maurya, was the founder of the Mauryan dynasty. So he is the third emperor of the Mauryan dynasty. Then Ashoka died in 232 BCE. What happened after Ashoka died? After the death of Ashoka, the Mauryan Empire began to weaken and decline. The Shatavahana dynasty. After the Mauryan Empire, the Shatavahana dynasty came into power. So how it came into power? Let's know that, but before that, please subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon to get the notifications of my videos. So, the Shatavahanas were first as feudatories to the Mauryan Empire. Feudatories means what? People who hold land by feudal tenure. But after the death of Ashoka, they declared independence and established their empire in this region. So this was a royal Indian dynasty based from Kotilingala in Telangana and Pune and Paithan in Maharashtra. So the territory of this empire covered much of the Deccan Plateau and central India for 450 years. This is the Shatavahana dynasty. So it was also declined. The Shatavahana empire was also declined in 210 AD. Then the Ikshvaku dynasty took the control of the region. So the Ikshvaku dynasty were the successors of the Shatavahanas in the eastern Deccan. Chalukya dynasty. After the Ikshvaku dynasty, the area was ruled by the Kalyani branch of Chalukya kingdom. So the Chalukya dynasty can be studied into 3 parts, that is Chalukya of Badami, Chalukya of Vengi and Chalukya of Kalyani, and the Kalyani branch ruled in this area. When the Chalukya kingdom became weaker, Kakatiyas, who were the feudal chieftains of Chalukya, declared independence and set up their kingdom around Warangal. The Kakatiyas built the Golconda Fort. This is Golconda Fort, and they built it along the lines of the Kondapalli Fort. This is Kondapalli Fort. And the Golconda Fort was rebuilt by Rani Rudramadevi and her successor Prataparudra. Prataparudra was the last ruler of the Kakatiya dynasty and he was the successor of Rani Rudramadevi. Prataparudra's grandmother was Rani Rudramadevi, thus he is the successor of Rani Rudramadevi. Muhammad bin Tughlaq was the founder of the Tughlaq dynasty. So this Muhammad bin Tughlaq's forces from the Delhi Sultanate resulted in the fall of Warangal, and it came under the control of Muhammad bin Tughlaq and Tughlaq Empire. Later, the Golconda fort came under the control of Musunuri Nayaks. These Musunuri Nayaks, they defeated the Tughlaqi army occupying Warangal. Let us know about the Musunuri Nayaks. The founder and the first emperor of the Musunuri Nayak kingdom was Musunuri Pralayanayaka. He was the founder of this kingdom. Then after Pralayanayaka, his cousin and the second emperor of the Musunuri Nayaka kingdom was Musunuri Kapaya Nayaka. In this way we can see that the successor of Pralayanayaka was his cousin, that is Kapaya Nayaka. This is Musunuri Pralayanayaka, who was the founder of this kingdom. This map shows the Bahmani kingdom and the Vijayanagar kingdom. The pink color shows Bahmani kingdom and the green color shows Vijayanagar kingdom. So for the next few decades after the Musunuri Nayaks occupied Warangal, the Bahmani Sultanate of the Deccan fought the Musunuri Nayaks on the north and Vijayanagar Rayas on the south. Again I am repeating it. Bahmani kingdom, that is Bahmani Sultanate, fought the Musunuri Nayaks on the north, and on the south Vijayanagara Rayas fought. Why did they fight? They want the control of the region. And then the Golconda fort was given up by the Musunuri Kapaya Nayaka, who was the successor of Musunuri Pralaya Nayaka. It was given up to the Bahmani Sultanate as a part of treaty in 1364. Quli Qutb al-Mulk. So this Quli Qutb al-Mulk was sent as the governor of Telangana, and he established his seat around 1501. So during this period, Bahmani rule gradually weakened and Sultan Quli formally became independent in 1538. He established the Qutb Shahi dynasty based in Golconda. So this mud fort, that is Golconda, was expanded by the first three Qutb Shahi Sultans. Who were the first three Qutb Shahi Sultans? To know that, let's know about Qutb Shahi dynasty. Qutb Shahi dynasty. The founder and the first emperor of Qutb Shahi dynasty was Quli Qutb al-Mulk. We just saw the picture, that was Quli Qutb al-Mulk. Quli Qutb al-Mulk had two sons. They were Jamshid Quli Qutb Shah and Ibrahim Quli Qutb Shah. These were the two sons of Quli Qutb Mulk. So Jamshid Quli Qutb Shah was the second emperor of the Qutb Shahi dynasty. Okay, so due to some issues, it was not given to Ibrahim Quli Qutb Shah, and Jamshid Quli Qutb Shah became the second emperor of Qutb Shahi dynasty. After Jamshid Quli Qutb Shah, his son was the third emperor of the Qutb Shahi dynasty, and that was Suban Quli Qutb Shah. Suban Quli Qutb Shah became the Sultan of Golconda at just 7 years old. So after Suban Quli Qutb Shah, Ibrahim Quli Qutb Shah, who was the son of Quli Qutb al-Mulk, became the fourth emperor of the Qutb Shahi dynasty. After Ibrahim Quli Qutb Shah, his son became the fifth emperor of the Qutb Shahi dynasty. That was Muhammad Quli Qutb Shah. Okay, so once again I am saying Qutb Shahi dynasty, founder and the first emperor was Quli Qutb al-Mulk. He had two sons, Jamshid Quli Qutb Shah and Ibrahim Quli Qutb Shah. Jamshid Quli Qutb Shah became the second emperor of Qutb Shahi dynasty. After him, the third emperor was his son Suban Quli Qutb Shah. He just got the Sultan of Golconda name at just 7 years old, and then after him his uncle Ibrahim Quli Qutb Shah became the 4th emperor of Qutb Shahi dynasty. After him Muhammad Quli Qutb Shah, who was the son of Ibrahim Quli Qutb Shah, became the 5th emperor of the Qutb Shahi dynasty. Okay, so we just saw that the first 3 emperors were the people who have expanded the Qutb Shahi dynasty into the present structure. The first 3 emperors, Quli Qutb al-Mulk, Jamshid Quli Qutb Shah and Subhan Quli Qutb Shah, these expanded the Golconda into the present structure. So this is the Musi river, and in 1589 Muhammad Quli Qutb Shah, who was the 5th ruler of the Qutb Shahi dynasty, selected the present site of the city and established the city of Hyderabad, the banks of the Musi river. But why Musi river? Because to overcome water shortages experienced at Golconda. So this picture was of 1590, when the city of Golconda became infected with the cholera epidemic. So that time Nawab Quli Qutb Shah moved from there to Chinchalam village and stayed there temporarily. This was Muhammad Quli Qutb Shah, and this one also. So this is Charminar. Means why it was built? Nawab Quli Qutb Shah, when he was on the way back to Golconda after his illness subsided, to mark his stay in that village, Charminar was built. When? 1591. Mughal Prince Aurangzeb spent most of his time in the Deccan fighting local Hindu and Muslim kingdoms to establish and enforce Mughal sovereignty. So who was Aurangzeb? Aurangzeb was the son of Shah Jahan. After the death of Shah Jahan in 1666, Aurangzeb consolidated his power in Delhi as emperor and returned to the south. So, the biggest prize in his eyes was the rich city of Hyderabad. So, Aurangzeb with his commanders laid siege to Golconda in 1686. Siege means it is a military operation in which the enemy forces surround a town or a building, cutting off all the essential supplies so that the inside should surrender. The Golconda held fast under months of siege, and Aurangzeb had to retreat in frustration. Aurangzeb returned in 1687 and laid siege for 9 months, camping in the Fateh Maidan, which is now the Lal Bahadur Shastri Stadium. So, Abdullah Khan Pani was bribed by Aurangzeb, and he opened the gates at night because he is a saboteur. Saboteur means a person who engages in sabotage, that is damage. Then Hyderabad's independence was eclipsed. On 21st September 1687, the Golconda Sultanate came under the rule of the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb after a year-long siege of the Golconda fort. Now Golconda, it was renamed as Deccan Suba, means Deccan province, and the capital was moved from Golconda to Aurangabad. So Mubaris Khan was appointed as the governor of the Deccan province. We will see the name Mubaris Khan again in this video. So you should remember this. He was appointed by Aurangzeb as the governor of the Deccan province, that is Deccan Suba. So this is Makkah Masjid, and during this period the construction of Makkah Masjid, during this period the construction of the Makkah Masjid, which had started in the 16th century, and city wall of Hyderabad with 12 gateways was completed. For a few decades, Hyderabad declined and its vibrant diamond trade was all there but destroyed. Aurangzeb's attention moved away quickly to other parts of the Deccan, with the Maratha Empire gaining ground against the Mughals. The Nizams of Hyderabad. Hyderabad state under the control of Nizams was the largest princely state in India, with an area larger than England, Scotland and Wales combined. Asaf Jah the First. With the emaciation, means the state of being weak, of the Mughal Empire after Aurangzeb's death in 1707, the Mughal appointed governors of Hyderabad gained more autonomy, means self-governing from Delhi. In 1714, the Mughal Emperor Farrukh Siyar appointed Mir Qamar Uddin Siddiq as the viceroy to the Deccan and gave him the title of Nizamul Mulk, means governor of the country. So Mir Qamar Uddin Siddiq was well suited for the position, as he had fought alongside his father and grandfather, who were commanders during the siege of Golconda. His father was Ghazi Uddin Khan Firoz Jung I. So he was a commander during the siege of Golconda, and his grandfather Khalij Khan. This Khalij Khan was a title given to him, and his real name was Nawab Khawaja Abid Siddiqui. So he defeated Mubaris Khan, who defeated Mir Qamar Uddin Siddiq, defeated when in 1724. So Mubaris Khan, who was Mubaris Khan? I said you to remember. Mubaris Khan was appointed as the governor of the Deccan province by Aurangzeb. Deccan province means Deccan Suba. Deccan Suba means Golconda was renamed as Deccan Suba. Did you remember? Okay. Muhammad Shah. Who was Muhammad Shah? Muhammad Shah was the 13th Mughal emperor. So Mir Qamar Uddin Siddiq received the title of Asaf Jah from Mughal emperor Muhammad Shah, who was the 13th Mughal emperor. Thus began the Asaf Jahi dynasty that would rule Hyderabad until a year after India's independence from Britain. Successors of Asaf Jah I. Asaf Jah I died in 1748. Then Asaf Jah II, that is Nizam Ali Khan, reigned from 1762 to 1803. In 1769, Hyderabad city became the formal capital of the Nizams. In response to regular threats from Hyder Ali, who was the Dalwai of Mysore, Bajirao I, who was the Peshwa of the Maratha Empire, and Basalat Jung, who was Asaf Jah II's elder brother. So the Nizam signed a subsidiary alliance with the East India Company in 1798, that is to allow the British Indian Army to occupy Bolaram, which is now the modern Secunderabad. So they signed. Why? So that the British Indian Army will occupy this place and it will protect the state's capital, so that these Nizams are paying an annual maintenance to the British. I am repeating it. They signed a subsidiary alliance with the East India Company so that they will allow the British Indian Army to occupy Bolaram to protect the state's capital, for which the Nizams paid an annual maintenance to the British. Hope you understood. So during the reign of the third Nizam, so this is Bolaram. So he is the third Nizam, Sikandar Jah, Asaf Jah the third. So during his reign, the maintenance of the British forces. So when Asaf Jah II Nizam Ali Khan was there, they signed the subsidiary alliance. But after Asaf Jah III came, they felt like that annual maintenance was putting a heavy burden on Hyderabad state and bankrupted it in the early 19th century. Nazirud-Dawla, he was Asaf Jah IV. Afzal-ud-Dawla, he was Asaf Jah V. The two pictures might look similar, but they are different. So, during the reign of Asaf Jah V, Afzal-ud-Dawla reformed the Hyderabad revenue and judicial systems. He constructed the first rail and telegraph networks, and the first higher educational institution of Hyderabad was established during his reign. As news of the Indian Rebellion of 1857 reached Hyderabad, Turebas Khan and Maulvi Alauddin led rebellions of about 5,000 people and attacked the British Residency. However, this was no match for the superior British troops, and the rebellion was quickly crushed. Mehboob Ali Khan, Asaf Jah VI. He was the sixth Nizam of Hyderabad. He ruled the state from 1866 till his death in 1911. He inherited the throne at just 3 years old, and the state was ruled by his regents Salar Jung I and Shamsul Amra III. The Nizam assumed full rule at the age of 18. The Nizam's Guaranteed State Railway was established in 1879, a railway company fully owned by the Nizam. It was formed to connect Hyderabad with the rest of the British India and was headquartered at Secunderabad railway station. After independence, it was integrated into the Indian Railways. The introduction of railways also marked the beginning of industry in Hyderabad, and 4 factories were built to the south and east of the Hussain Sagar Lake. So this is the Great Musi Flood of 1908. This ravage means it severely damaged the city during his reign. Whose reign? During Mehboob Ali Khan, who is the 6th Nizam of Hyderabad's reign. So it killed an estimated 15,000 people and affecting at least 2 lakh people. So all the bridges over the river Musi were destroyed except for the Purana Pul. Purana Pul means it is the first bridge ever constructed in Hyderabad and among the oldest in South India. It was built during the reign of Qutub Shahi dynasty. Why? To connect Golconda and Hyderabad. The Nizam threw open his palace Purana Haveli for the flood victims. The Nizam died in 1911 at the age of 45. Asaf Jah VII, Mir Usman Ali Khan, the 7th and last Nizam of Hyderabad, ascended the throne in 1911 after the death of Mehboob Ali Khan. He founded numerous institutions and public buildings in the city, including the Begumpet Airport, Hyderabad State Bank, Osmania University, Nizamiya Observatory, Muazzam Jahi Market, Nizamiya Hospital, Assembly Hall, formerly known as the Town Hall, State Central Library, formerly known as the Asafiya Library, Hyderabad High Court, and the Osmania General Hospital. The Nizam also owned an airline called the Deccan Airways. 2 large reservoirs, namely the Osman Sagar and the Himayat Sagar, were constructed a few kilometers west of Hyderabad to prevent another flood in the city on the advice of Sir M. Visvesvaraya. He was well known for his immense collection of jewel and wealth, composed of 173 jewels, including the Jacob diamond, which is known as the Victoria diamond, and it is the fifth biggest polished diamond in the world. He was proclaimed the richest man in the world in 1937 and appeared on the cover of Time magazine, owing majorly to the Golconda mines, which were the primary source of his wealth. So friends, that's the history of Hyderabad. Hope you all understood this. If you like this video, please give a big thumbs up. Also share this video and subscribe to my channel. Click on the bell icon to get the notifications of my videos. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye bye.